How much does it cost to live comfortably here in the Philippines? Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Merlyn again. So if you are not my subscriber yet, please do hit the subscribe and click the notification bell. I would appreciate you. Guys, for today's video, we're going to talk about how much does it cost to live comfortably in the Philippines. So a lot of Western people still wondering or doesn't have any idea how much you need to stay here or to live here for good. So if you want to live in the Philippines for good, you may wonder how much does it cost to live comfortably in the Philippines. So there are so many factors that you have to consider, guys. So it's gonna be much easier, guys, to calculate the amount you will need by breaking down each categories. So of course, not all of these categories will apply to everybody. However, there will be an essential guide when working out how much is the minimum cost of living in the Philippines for you and your family. So let's talk about 8 category. Now the first one will be the food and beverage cost. The second one will be the insurance cost. Third, laundry cost. Fourth, leisure activities. Fourth, miscellaneous cost. Rental cost, transportation cost, and utilities cost. The first one, food and beverage costs in the Philippines. Food costs are some of the highest household expenses for families, but food costs in the Philippines remain incredibly low, and there are a few reasons behind that. So the first reason is that many Filipinos love value for money. So it's no surprise that many all you can eat or eat all you can buffet style restaurant are very accessible on all across the Philippines. For example, pork meat is kind of like $4 per kilo. The fish is 3 to 4 per kilo. It depends on what kind of fish. And then usually banana, it should be here in the province, it should be by piece. Like you can buy 2 pieces of your 10 peso, something like that. So it all depends where you are. Over in Manila or in the mall, it should be by kilo. But over at the wet market, it should be by piece. Now let's talk about number 2, the insurance cost in the Philippines, guys. I know most of you Western people, you have to have this. I mean, each of us have this. So there are so many different types of insurance here in the Philippines, ranging from phone insurance to health insurance. So if you are an expat looking to live in the Philippines, insurance is often a wise investment. However, should you purchase insurance in your home country or the Philippines? Yeah, you choose one. Anyway, you are in the Philippines, must prefer that you're going to get an insurance here in the Philippines. In many cases, you will find that insurance costs are much lower here in the Philippines compared to the Western countries. To number 3, guys, the laundry costs in the Philippines. So we've done with the food and beverage and then the insurance cost. Now let's jump on into number 3, the laundry costs in the Philippines. Well, it might be cheap for you, but you still have this thing. And when looking at how much salary to live comfortably in the Philippines, one area that is often forgotten is the laundry cost. In many cases, laundry costs considerably cheap for expat to outsource their laundry to professional laundry services. In the most prominent cities across the Philippines, you will find many laundry service that wash and iron and fold a small laundry bag for less than $15 or $15. However, suits and accessories can increase costs. Now, if you have your own washing machine and you have somebody else to help you out, just like your wife or yeah, you can it might be cheap or you can save more. Let's move to number 4, leisure activities in the Philippines. I know you guys, you love to go to the gym and something like that. So leisure activities are mixed bag when it comes to how much that it costs to live comfortably in the Philippines, as there is a lot of variety at different cost. So it just depends where you are and what kind of gym or what kind of, you know, a premium gym can often be at similar prices or in some cases higher prices than in Western countries. They range from 35 bucks to 60 bucks. So, however, on the flip side, there are also many free events, including outside gyms and free classes that are more often available every other night. Now, let's jump into number 5, guys, miscellaneous costs in the Philippines. So, miscellaneous costs in the Philippines, investment or financial savings. When looking at how much does it cost to live comfortably in the Philippines, one doesn't need to focus that much on an area such as investment, financial savings. However, if you are looking to save or invest, then it is wise to add this to your financial plan. Let's jump into number 6, rental cost, guys. This is the most important here, I guess, because you have no place to stay, you have to rent. So rental costs in the Philippines can be very diverse. For example, if you're looking to live in a small studio in the city, prices can range between 14 to 17,000 pesos. It all depends. Or it's gonna be like 288 to 350 bucks. A one bedroom unit in the city can range between 18 to 25,000 pesos, or it could be like 370 to 514 bucks. So two bedroom unit in the city can range between 25 or above. 25 above. Yeah. It's gonna be 500 US dollar. If you want to keep your rental costs down, another option available for expat and locals is investing in real estate by becoming an owner. And of course, there are ended pros and cons. However, there are pros and cons that you should think million times, guys, because foreigner can't own any land property here in the Philippines, so the only option is just to buy a condominium. Yeah. If you want to have a place. Number 7, guys. So the transportation costs in the Philippines. Well, there are many different options for transportation in the Philippines. It's depend where you are. Private taxis are often the most convenient forms in transportation, but can be one of the highest compared to public transport. It's gonna be more expensive for taxi than to compare the jeepney or the pedicabs or the tricycle. Taxis often have a starting rate with I think worth of 40 to 60 pesos depending on the area. Numerous taxi scams are in operation all across in the Philippines, therefore services such as Grab have become extremely popular with expat and local alike. Grab is a similar service to Uber and operates across the Philippines, offering transportation and other services. So whether you are looking for an SUV or motorbike, you will find it with a Grab. Unfortunately, in some remote areas, Grab may not be available, but you will not have a problem if you are staying around the city. Just like here in dumaguete, guys, we don't have any taxi or Grab. So we only have a tricycle or pedicabs just around the city. On the other hand, jeepneys are cheap and convenient service that operates all across the Philippines. Prices typically range between 10 to 15, but actually for now they are increasing pesos for around 1.5 kilometer. So for now, guys, since pandemic starting, they charge more, double the price. To number 8, utility costs in the Philippines. Sadly, utilities are the high expense in the Philippines. and have been pretty crazy in recent times. There are many different providers and location does matter. So water costs are often low, ranging from anywhere between 3 to 15 US dollar. It depends where you are, guys, per month. So the significant expense tends to come from other utilities such as the internet and the electricity. So actually electricity here is kind of like sometimes they increase twice a month. Utilities are more often one of the most challenging expenses to calculate, as so many factors are taken into account. Still, for a small condominium, you can expect to pay maybe 75 or more than that per month. It depends on how you use your, and it depends on how many appliances that you have. This includes charging lights and conditioning, air conditioning, and other expenses. Well, actually, it all depends. If just only you using your electricity, it might be less. But if you have company, you have your family. Let's say, for example, in the condominium, you have four. You live. I mean, there are four members of the family, so it's increased more. So for the internet connection, that includes a higher speed fiber connection. Prices range from low 599 to 2,500 pesos. On average, internet tends to be around 1,500 or 30 bucks. So mine is I'm paying 1,500 bucks. No, 1,500 pesos per month, which is I have 40 Mbps, which is just enough for me. And considering mobile phones, bill utility costs can reach approximately 6,300 pesos or maybe higher than that. To live comfortably in the Philippines, you would need approximately 1,200 US dollar to 1,700 US dollar. So this includes the standard expat lifestyle. The total cost to live comfortably in the Philippines can be much lower or higher depending on individual lifestyle. We have our own lifestyle, guys. So if you want a very luxury life or comfortable life, so you need more. So how much salary to live comfortably in the Philippines? The answer can be very depending if you are a local or an expat looking to move to the Philippines. Now, many Filipinos can live comfortably on much lower salary. It because of many factors, and one of the main areas is that expat often choose high-cost living areas such as Manila or Cebu. So if you wanted to save more money and you wanted to live peace, live peace. Anyway, if you wanted to have friendly environment, you know, just go to the provinces. Let's say, for example, somewhere in Bohol, somewhere and not really in the big cities like Manila and Cebu. Let's say Bohol, Dumaguete, and yeah, there are a lot of areas. There are a lot of areas that you can live that is cheap compared to the big cities. And that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and if you do like my video, please leave me a comment and don't forget to subscribe. And thank you so much for all my members. Thank you very much for staying as my member. See you. Bye bye.